The rain drizzled lightly over New York City, blurring the streetlights into golden halos. Olivia Carter tightened her coat around her breath forming small clouds in the chilly evening air. Another long day at the diner had drained what little energy she had left, but she pushed forward, her mind preoccupied with bills and the stack of unopened notices at home. She barely noticed the old man sitting on the sidewalk near the entrance of the subway station, his coat threadbare, his hands trembling as he cupped them around a steaming paper cup. His face was weary, but his eyes, a deep shade of blue, held a flicker of something. Hope, perhaps? People walked past him, avoiding his gaze. Olivia wasn't much different most days. She had her own problems. But tonight, something stopped her. Maybe it was the way he was softly humming a tune, one she recognized from childhood. Her grandmother used to sing it when life felt unbearably heavy. She paused, reached into her bag, and pulled out the last $10 bill she had. It wasn't much, but it could buy him something warm to eat. As she approached, he looked up and smiled, a genuine, warm smile, as if she were an old friend. "Thank you, dear," he said, his voice gentle, "but I don't need money tonight." Olivia blinked, surprised. "Then what do you need?" The man studied her for a moment before replying, "A conversation." She hesitated. Her mind screamed that she was exhausted, that she had work early in the morning, that she didn't have time. But something about him, the quiet wisdom in his eyes, the way the city moved past him like he was invisible, made her sit down beside him on the cold concrete. They talked. He told her about his past, how he had once been a teacher, how he had lost his family, how he had let regret consume him. "It's funny," he mused, "how people chase happiness like it's something to be found, when really it's something to be made." Olivia frowned. "Made?" He nodded. "I used to think happiness was in success, in things. But in the end, I found it in moments. Like this one, a kind stranger stopping to talk on a cold night." She felt something shift inside her. Here was a man who had lost almost everything, yet he still found joy in a simple conversation. As the night deepened, Olivia finally stood up. "You've given me more than I expected tonight," she admitted. He chuckled. "Happiness isn't about expecting, it's about noticing." She walked away lighter than she had felt in months. The bills were still there. Her problems hadn't vanished. But for the first time in a long while, she felt okay. The next evening, she returned to the same spot. The man was gone. In his place was a small, crumpled piece of paper tucked under a pebble. She picked it up and read the words scrawled in shaky handwriting. "Be happy, and remember, happiness grows when shared." Tears welled in her eyes, not from sadness, but from something deeper. Gratitude, perhaps. She had stopped for a stranger, yet it was she who had been saved. From that night forward, Olivia made a promise to herself. She would look up more, she would notice, and she would create happiness, not just for herself, but for others. Because sometimes the smallest acts of kindness plant the seeds of the greatest joy.